You guys think you've got a money problem. You think you've got a women problem. You think you've got an environment problem, a genetic problem. No, you don't. You guys have an alignment problem. You have a habits problem. Anything you guys can perceive in your mind, what you need to realize by law is that perception, that thought in your mind is already yours as long as you align to it. And everybody asks, how long does it take to achieve a goal? How long does it take to get the 10 out of 10 chick? How long does it take to start earning 10, 20, 50K a month? How long does it take until I can move to Dubai? You're asking the wrong question. The question you guys need to be asking yourself is, how long am I gonna wait until I actually align my thoughts, my beliefs, my habits, and my actions to the specific outcome I want? You guys, from hindsight now and wisdom, I have 10 habits that I can't live without. These habits I coach all my private clients. I'm gonna showcase them with you guys today. But these habits all originated from one day that I remember very vividly. I think we must have been in 2019, and I was sat there. I was an engineer at the time. I was a typical skinny fat mediocre guy who thought he knew everything like everybody else, who was still just an average fuck. And I was sat there at this little wooden desk in my overalls, covered in oil all over my face. I'd just been in the pit beneath one of the carding machines I was working on at the time. And from hindsight now, I know what this was. This was God communicating with me. I didn't have the level of consciousness to even understand what was going on, but I had a bit of a euphoric moment. It was like I was sat there, and I remember I'd just been to Morrison's, the supermarket, the petrol station up the road, and I was eating this sandwich, and I was just sat there, and I was looking at the time, and I was like, right, 6 minutes, and I'm back into grinding wire. And I had this moment that was like a light bulb, and it was just like, what the fuck are you doing, Tom? What the fuck are you doing? Something you're doing right now must be so fucking wrong, because you work your fucking nuts off every day. At the time I was going to work, I was working from like 5, 6 a.m. till 7, 8 p.m. at night, and I was earning a few £100 a week. And it weren't even just the money, guys. It was the lifestyle. I didn't have freedom. You know, I didn't have anything that I knew intrinsically in my biology that I knew I wanted, right? I didn't have that autonomy. And I had this euphoric moment, and I was like, I'm doing something completely wrong. For the first time ever, it's like my ego was just sucked out of me, and God was just saying, you got to change the fucking plan, right? You got to change the inputs. And from that day onwards, I really lent into my desires, and I really thought and spent a lot more time thinking about what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. And I had a very clear thought. For the next few days coming in, it was very obvious to me that I wanted to be one day working anywhere I wanted. My dream at the time was to be able to live in Dubai. It was like a one-day thing. It wasn't like, oh, I'm not going to do it if I can't do this in 2 years. You guys who operate like that, it's fucking stupid. You're a fucking simp and you'll never do anything, right? If your mindset, right, thinks, oh, if I do it by this time, you know, that's expectation, right? God doesn't reward expectation. God rewards passion. You know, those guys who just want to do the process and fall in love with the process of becoming the man and achieving the outcomes, those are the guys God rewards, where you're just going to grind and you're going to align your thoughts and your beliefs and your habits and your actions, and you're going to be self-aware. You're going to look back at them every single evening. You're going to try and improve and get better and become more valuable every day, with no expectation on when, but just a consciousness to align higher to a better standard every day. That's what God rewards, not people with expectations that think they've worked hard and they've hustled for 2 weeks, for 2 months, for 1 year, and they think they should have the world. You know, God does not reward those people who live with expectation. You deserve nothing. You will get everything when you've aligned with it. And if you don't have it, you're not aligned with it. So guys, from that downwards, it really just, raise that level of self-awareness and real deep understanding that I'm nothing close to who I need to be to live the life I want. And there was no time frame on it. It was like this is the life I'm going to work towards, and I'm going to give it everything I've got every day. Not like 2 minutes a day. I mean, it's going to be going on in here every minute of the day, like every second. One thing I think a lot of people would be surprised about with me is just how much time I spend thinking and then actioning with intention and precision. You can hustle, guys. Back then I was hustling every minute of the day, every day, but I weren't hustling aligned to laws, guys. These 10 daily habits I'm going to show with you will make you successful in whatever you want to do, right? If you want to be the world's best salesman, if you want to be a coach, you want to coach fitness and mindset and business like myself now. It started off for me, it was just fitness, photo shoot coaching. Now I have like the How to Live alignment, fitness and mindset program, the business personal brand program, my black room, inside private coaching, right? It doesn't matter what you want to do. Maybe you're in real estate. Maybe you want to do trading. I've helped a lot of guys with their e-com, right? But these 10 daily habits are the foundation to my program, right? To my elite fitness and mindset program, my tier 1 program. This is not like, people look at the program and they think it's just about a transformation. I'm like, no, the transformation you see on the front cover is just inevitable. And you're looking at it with not enough level of consciousness. The man you see on the outside is a byproduct of the inside, right? This is a how to live program. This is a how to live on the highest frequency. This is a how to live aligned to your purpose. This is a how to live in autonomy. This is a how to create the man you actually respect and admire set of habits and program. And you guys, some of you, I know that 99% of you guys, when I tell you these habits, you won't even do them because you're like, oh, no, can't be that. It's too simple, right? That's ego, right? It's not about having a really crazy complex plan. It's about having a very simple, efficient plan. These are habits I do every day and will continue to do every day. And it's the mastering of the plan, not changing the plan, which is going to get you there. You guys have to hit this plan. I'm going to tell you these 10 daily habits. And those who align and raise their level of consciousness on how well they execute this plan and how persistently they execute this, these are the ones that will succeed. So I'm going to run you through them all really quickly, and I'm going to come back through them. The first one is the early wake up, 4:30 in the morning. I'm going to fire back through these. Second one, hydration, supplements, caffeination. Third one, AM assumptions and AM alignment. Fourth one, reading, mindset, laws, wisdom, and a specialized needle moving habit that would be great for the industry you're in. So if you're in sales, you might be reading something on sales. If you're in e-com, you might be looking at something to do with copywriting or marketing. You're going to be looking at a needle moving. So mindset, laws, wisdom, and a needle moving specialized piece of knowledge. As Bob Proctor says, it's 95% mindset and building the man, 5% specialized knowledge. So we want to be reading the mindset and specialized. Movement. This could be steps, it could be running, it could be whatever movement is aligned to you. I've got clients that do all different sorts of movement. It's going to be specific to each individual. Macros, these need to be specific to the week and specific to how your body's responding and towards the goal and what phase of the physique roadmap you're in. Like macros when it comes to some of my clients, sometimes they're crazy elite level entrepreneurs. We optimize their nutrition more like me for mental performance as well as aesthetic, and where we put those macros in the day, how we use certain food sources at certain times. Some guys, it's just like going from a really average physique. It's like, no, we just need to be all in physique and aesthetic focused at the start because the world rewards the most confident men. You're never going to be a confident man in an average fucking body. We've got to get you looking good first, and then we optimize for a few more of the other little details. Those guys that just say I'm going carnivore on day one, you're a fucking idiot because you're going to be a soft, fucking deflated, like flat in your muscles simp. You don't want to do that, guys. At any level, you don't want to do that. Resistance training. Frequency raiser workouts during the day. Lateral thinking blocks, so you can actually have a bird's eye view and be a really good, efficient thinker. And I give my clients prompts on how to think correctly. And then a lever one business action block. Most of you guys are working on 100 tasks that even though you've been busy all day, they didn't actually move your business towards the outcome you want. Being busy should not be rewarded. Being hustling shouldn't be rewarded. Being a sufferer shouldn't be rewarded. It's about how well do you use these laws, guys. So the early wake up, for me, I always think about it like this, guys. You know, back in the day, I used to wake up crazy early because I had to. You know, when I was in my 9 to 5, I had to wake up at, 3 a.m. in the morning because it was the only way I could get to the gym before work and get everything in. If I wanted to work on my business every day and work on my physique every day to become the man, sometimes at the very beginning, guys, if you're still working a 9 to 5, you need to be up early, not even from a spiritual standpoint, but just a time standpoint. But now, guys, I live a life of autonomy, but I still choose to wake up early. I wake up at 3:45. Personally, I don't even do 4:30. 4:30 is the max you should be waking up. And for me, it's a case of, when do I feel my best? And I basically say I have a rule. When was your best day ever, your most productive, highest frequency, needle moving day ever? And you want to make that now your bare minimum. And for me, when I'm always my highest frequency, the most energy, my most aligned, my most inner peace, my most easily in the state of already having the desire and feeling like I already have it, the law of assumption, it's when I wake up early. Because when you wake up early at 3:45, 4:30, you buy yourself back that time to spend with your conscience, with your heart, to understand, to, open the journal every day, and like through repetition, you kill it. And you go in the notepad and you write down, the life you want to live, the exact house, the exact cars, the details, the stitching, the unique wrap you may have, the wife or the partner or the dynamic you're going to have, the family, the business, the income, the number of clients you want to serve, the amount of products you want to sell, whatever it may be. Get extremely, extremely specific so you can see that like a movie. Okay, that's what you want to be doing in the morning. That ties into the AM assumptions and AM alignment. It's going through the state of assumption, getting very clear on the life you want to have, and then I want you to operate in alignment. So when you wake up early, you've almost got like a slow hour or two in the morning where it's just repeating the same process day after day, writing out what do I need to produce today? What would actually move me towards my goals today? Everyone's just obsessed with waking up in a rush. I'm hustling. I'm off to the gym. I'm busy. And when you go to sleep, nothing was actually produced. What the fuck did you actually produce? How did you even move towards your goal? Being busy doesn't do that. So when you get up early, it means you buy back that time and you step into the gym session. You step into work. You step into how you're driving your car. You step into how you walk down the street. You step into your work block like the man who already has it. You're intentional. The world rewards intentional people, and you want to be intentional, aligned with the outcome. If you just wake up in a rush, you don't spend that time with your conscience, with God, you will pay the consequence for that. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause in return, guys. So if you don't do that and you get up and you're stressed and you're last minute and you rush to the gym and you grab your bottle and you go, you train and you just swing some weights around, and then you go to work and then you come home and then you go to fucking... Cause and effects are leading you to the wrong place. Slow it down, be organized. All right, it's about clarity and it's about precision with execution. Hydration, supplements, caffeine. Okay, this is simple. I come down, I wake up every morning, I hydrate my body, I get my supplements in, I get my caffeine in, and I'm prepared for the day with peak energy, supplements so I don't crash. Guys, again, the world rewards the people with the most energy. How do you think you're gonna get through the day with zero energy and achieve these crazy big goals, right? It's about hydration, it's about supplementation, it's about peak health, it's about your nutrition, which is something we'll come on to, right? AM assumptions and alignment. Assumptions we've already spoken about with waking up early. Alignment, this is just hearing your heart. Like, what do you feel like you're being called to do? Is your heart saying you need to fucking strip the body fat? You need to fucking take action on what the fuck I'm saying in this video? Is alignment saying that you need that tough conversation, with some of your fucking mates or with your missus and be like, look, you need to level the fuck up or I'm not spending time with you. Your heart knows what you need to do, and every day you're out of alignment with that, you're gonna pay the consequence, okay? This is what you need to do, right? You are gonna move at the fastest pace when you take action on your heart every day. Most people don't even hear the heart because they don't give themselves the time to hear it, because they wake up late and they're straight into the day in a rush, and they're in the day. They don't have time spending looking down on the day and analyzing and thinking and moving intentionally. Okay, so as opposed to having like one day a year where you action your heart and then you retreat back to who you were, you're going to be doing this every day, percentage by percentage by percentage. This is what really creates the man. This is what creates the life. Okay, every time you're doing this as well, and all of these habits are designed to raise your vibration, raise your frequency. When you raise your frequency, you're reprogramming your subconscious mind. Okay, and that in turn is going to improve your thoughts. It's going to improve your beliefs. You're going to get ideas that you couldn't even receive into the mind before because you're in too low a frequency. It's like everything was already there. It's like this water in this pool, it could already be steam if it was vibrating at the right level. If you want these thoughts, these ideas, you've got to raise your vibration. You've got to be in a high frequency all day long. Reading mindset, laws, wisdom, pretty self-explanatory. We need to be learning. We need to be building the mind. We need to be aligning. We need to be reminding ourselves of improving our state. Movement is one of the most important things for energy and for health. If you're tired, it's probably because you're not moving enough. Macros, we want to build the most aesthetic, competent man ever. You know, we don't want to look like a fucking simp. You need to look in the mirror and know you're undeniable. But then not only that, nutrition, macros, food sources, we want to have that built out to not just build the best you, prime the body, diet and recomp the body, reverse the body, put you into a performance phase and keep you lean and full and hard and full of energy and performance fueled. We need to do that week by week. We want to be resistance training to build the body we admire. We need frequency raiser workouts, swinging some dumbbells around, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, burpees. Okay, I don't know if you can see them, but somewhere inside behind me, you'll see me doing dumbbells through the day, just for 2-3 minutes, just raise the vibration, just like reading does. All right, so when you get halfway through the day, it's like in the morning, you've done that morning routine, your vibration's high, your frequency's high. You've gone to the gym, you've trained, but then you're like a battery. You slightly decline, and those frequency raises at maybe like 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., they're just gonna keep recharging the battery. Most people think they need to rest when they're tired. You guys need to recharge the battery with movement, with good nutrition, with training, with movement. Lateral thinking, you should have a time where you have no AirPods in. I think this is really good to do on a walk. Sometimes I'll just pace up and down the villa here and think, just really think. You know, in these thinking sessions, think about like the goal you want to achieve and just visualizing yourself like the assumptions as already having it, and reverse engineer what you need to do. Just every day be hitting the plan and reverse engineering these tiny little details, these levels of consciousness. And the final thing is the lever 1 business action block. Okay, you guys need to be working on only the most high leverage task. You know, there's a great book called The One Thing, for any of you guys who haven't read that. I believe it's a guy called Gary Keller. I apologize if that's the wrong name. I think it's Gary Keller, The One Thing. And it's a great book, guys. It's a great book. And it basically shows you how to think around what's going to be like the number one thing you guys need to work on within your business that's going to make it impossible to not win. You know, this for you guys is your personal development, but then if you think of something specialized within your business, maybe it's marketing, maybe it's sales, maybe it's specialized knowledge on the value you're going to provide. You guys have to understand like where you need to put that time in your business. This is going to be completely unique for everybody. The guys who are in my business personal brand, we go extremely deep on this. Like I said, these 10 habits are how to live at a high frequency, how to achieve all goals. For guys who really want to go deep on business and personal brand, you want to be in my brand and personal brand program, business and personal brand, or you can actually work with me very closely, privately. Only guys who are doing 25, 30K plus per month though, you can work with me inside my black room. But everybody else, you want to be in my brand. Okay, so this is the habits you want to be hitting, guys. These 10 habits. Rewatch it, write them down. Keep watching this video until your day has these habits. Like, you shouldn't be sleeping. These aren't habits you do a few days a week. These are habits you do every day, non-negotiable. You don't sleep until you've done these habits, okay? Stop thinking about and worrying about the women, about this crazy physique, about the villas, about the cars, about this network, about the Lamborghini. Hustle means fuck all. Alignment is everything, guys. Live in the state of assumption that you already have the physique, that you already have the life, the business, right? And your conscience will guide you every single day and tell you what to do. It's going to tell you to raise your standards. It's going to tell you to cut people out. It's going to tell you to invest in the guy that you know is going to make it undeniable that you achieve that goal. Okay? And every day, that's why I come in and I write my assumptions and I go into my alignment and my guide. My conscience is my guide every day. Every time I've invested in someone, every time I've raised my standards, every time I've cut people out, that wasn't an accident, guys. This was my conscience. It was written down on paper. This is what you need to do. And I have a rule. Within 20 minutes, I have to have taken action on it. If my heart is saying do this, I have to have written then a little action step on what I'm going to do to actually move that forward today. Not tomorrow, today. Guys, you know what you need to do. Like I said, 99% of you guys will most likely listen to this, mentally masturbate a bit, think on it, not apply it, think it has to be something much crazier than this, and you won't do it. But there'll be a small percentage of you guys who drop their ego and they go, yeah, I need to level the fuck up. I need to do what is required. I need to raise my standards. I need to match my habits with the outcome. And you guys will go like water to steam, Sometimes, guys, and this is something my older self would have definitely struggled with. Sometimes when I'm speaking to you guys, it can sound too simple. And I think the fact that it sounds too simple, it can scare you guys. You guys really have to understand that the blueprint is simple. I understand it in its complexity to teach it in its simplicity. The blueprint, the actual actions you have to do are extremely simple, okay? It's the mindset you need to build with it, and it's the level of consciousness that you need to build with it, like how well and how in-depth you understand the blueprint at what level. That's obviously for those guys who are extremely committed. That's where you need to be. You want to be in my elite fitness and mindset, right? This is where you're going to have everything done for you. We're going to show you the levels you need to be thinking about things, how you can be operating within the blueprint. We're going to be getting you in the craziest shape. You're going to be jumping on the weekly calls. We're going to raise your frequency. We're going to surround you by a fucking ton of winners. We make it undeniable, guys, right? And for any of you guys wanting to start a business, let's say you're in coaching and you're wanting to grow it, one thing you guys really need to realize is if you're struggling, one quick tip I'll finish this video with is everything you sell, if you're a coach, should be something you can't live without. All my programs are the programs that I can't live without, right? I effectively have 2 programs and then a private. So my Elite Fitness and Mindset is my life program. It's my 10 habits. It's everything optimized. We build the man. We get you ripped up. We get you high frequency. We move you and we make you undeniable for achieving all your goals. My business and personal brand is the exact systems and strategies we use to build and grow the business. So everything is just flooding in, right? And you can live a life of autonomy. You can follow your purpose. You can follow your passion. And then my black room is effectively where I work on both, just at an even higher level with very high caliber individuals, multi-6, 7, 8-figure individuals. Okay, guys? But they're the 2 things I can't live without. I can't have this life without those 10 daily habits, effectively everything I teach in my Elite Fitness and Mindset, and then everything I also teach in my business and personal brand. I can't be here without that. That is the alignment to this life. So you guys, if you want to live with that inner peace, you want to live and have autonomy, you want to have that business, you want to have that physique, you need to be just getting yourself around people who have the outcomes, who are aligned. If you don't have it, you're not aligned. And getting around people who are aligned, you're going to time collapse your journey there a whole lot more. Drop the ego, move boldly, walk in faith. Let's fucking go.